Hey guys, it's Cricket Techie here, and I've got this MacBook Pro 2014 model. I've got a cracked screen on it, so let's go ahead and fix this. You guys can follow along if you need to, so let's get started. First step is to go ahead and flip it upside down, and after that you guys can see there's 10 screws on the back. Those are the screws we're going to be removing, but other than that we've also got the brand new screen, so I'm going to go ahead and show you that. So we got this screen right here. As you guys can see, there's a couple fluxes and cables on it. We got the logo, Apple logo right there, and on top of that we've also got the cables like I mentioned. So we have the 4 cables in the top left of the screen, and the top right of the screen we have our LCD cables, and that's where you'll find all your display to be inputted onto your computer. And let's go ahead and start. So the first step is to go ahead and remove the 10 screws like I mentioned. I have this 5-sided screwdriver right here. As you can see, you can go ahead and just take out the screws with this. There's 10 screws like I mentioned, so just go ahead and take those out. I also have this magnet over here, and that's used to magnetize your tools, and that's really great because if you have any screws you can just easily take it out just with that. So this is our back panel right here. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the side, and let's get started. So as you guys can see right here, we've got the motherboard, the fans, the battery, and everything. You guys can see those are the connectors that we're gonna have to remove first. So let's go ahead and take. So what you want to do is you want to go ahead and take out the battery right here, and you want to take this out first because if you don't take out the battery, then everything inside your computer will sometimes lose data or otherwise, and that's pretty much important because you don't want to lose anything in general. So like I said, this is very important. You want to take out the battery first. You can see it says caution. You want to go ahead and pull the little strip up. You can see we've got our battery access right here. Just use like 2 nails or something and just push it or pull it right up. Next we've got these 3 cables right here. You're gonna go ahead and just pop them out as well. Okay, and once that's done, you've also got a cable right beneath this. You can go ahead and just take that as well. I recommend using a chisel or anything else that will help you take it out. Sometimes I also like to use a tweezer because you can help. It helps to just pull it out. So once that's done, you're just gonna go ahead and pull the little flap up, and once that flap is up, you can just go ahead and pull your cables right up because it's an electric tape holding it down. And there's a little piece of plastic that holds the cables and manages them. You're gonna go ahead and just take it right out of there, and you can just separate the wires and put it to the side. There's 2 little rubber pieces that hold the hinges in place. You want to go ahead and take those off. There's just a little adhesives. You can go ahead and just easily take those off by pulling. There will be little tabs that you can use to just take them off. So you guys can see we've got 6 screws over here. You also want to use these screws and just take them out again. They are a bigger size screwdriver, so you want to make sure you have the right tools and proper tools for this. So I'm going to go ahead and take these out. And once your last screw is out, you're just gonna go ahead and take the screw, put it all to the side, make sure you keep them in the safe place because they're very important. Now the next step is to go ahead and make sure you take off this LCD cable right here. You're gonna go ahead and just take that off. It comes off pretty easy. Just gotta pull on the little tab and then pull right out. So the next step is to go ahead and just pull out these two little screws with the screwdriver. And yeah, this is the same screwdriver that you'll use for taking out the screws on the outer back plate. Just go ahead and take them off. It's only two of them. So once you've gotten everything out, there's little pieces of metal. You can go ahead and just take them out. They're used for holding the hinges in. Go ahead and just take them out. There's two of them, like I mentioned. And after that, we got our new screen. So the first thing you want to do before you get a new screen is you want to go ahead and test them out. Because if they're bad, you can immediately return them, because you don't want bad screens because they cost a lot of money, and being defective, it means it's useless. So you're just gonna go ahead and plug in that little LCD cable, and that goes right in like I mentioned before, and it clips right in from the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip it in right there. And the next step is to plug in the battery again, because you want to turn it on. So I'm just gonna bend this screen this way so you guys can see. I'm gonna hold the power button. As you guys can see, we have our two fans on right now. That means the computer is on, and the Apple logo has illuminated. So you guys can see our users came up, nothing has been lost, and we still have everything still here. So I'm gonna go ahead and shut off the computer. And after that, you're gonna go ahead and remove the battery, because we will be working on other things as well in this computer, and we're not done just yet. So you guys can see, as soon as the computer powered off, the fan stopped working. So that's an indicator that you guys should look out for when repairing any type of computer of some sort. So now we're gonna put the laptop screen in place, and to do that, you're just gonna go ahead and just clip it right in, and make sure the hinges are aligned, because if your hinges are not aligned, you won't be able to bend your screen properly. Now you want to put back those two screws I mentioned, as well as that little metal piece. Once you realize that most of your thing is coming along, you can just do the opposite of what you've done before. So now, since we're done with that, we're gonna go ahead and put in the 6 screws for the hinges. And you wanna make sure that you have the little two little plates in there, because you don't want to take out 2 screws and put them back in afterward as well. It doesn't make sense. And that little plate is used for holding the wires in place. So you guys can see in the top left right there, you guys have the little cables, and that's used for cable management. So make sure you guys go ahead and screw that in. Let's go ahead and the other side as well.
But it's nothing new. And my lover's honesty.
And now you're gonna use that same little wired cable with management plastic piece and just put them back where they were, same way. So you'll notice the big cable wasn't on the very outer edge, and the other 3 cables go on the very inner edge. And I like to use a tool to just put them in there, because sometimes they do stick out, and you don't really want that, because then it doesn't, your plate or your outer plate doesn't fit in properly. And you want to make sure you don't puncture the flexes, because they're very important. Your Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, your camera might go out depending on what happens. And now you're gonna go ahead and plug those cables in, and the 3 cables, although you don't really know which ones go where, you'll see some are short and some are long. depending on that, you can pretty much approximate which one will go where, and it should work out if you do it right. Next, you want to put in your LCD cable, because then your screen will show up, so you want to go ahead and do that right now. And once again, just clip it in from the top. Now, since we have everything connected, we're going to go ahead and plug in our battery. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and put our rubber pieces back in that hold the little 6 screws for the hinges, and we're going to put those in place. They're adhesive, so they should go back. Next, we're going to take the little rubber flap and just put that right back on where it was. You can take some double-sided tape if it doesn't stick back on. The adhesive sometimes is very, very little. So it's really important that you sometimes need to get the clear amount of adhesive tape. Make sure that it doesn't fall off. And when you're done, you can go ahead and put your back plate back on, and you can take those 10 screws and just put them right back in there.
Didn't even get to cross.
I'm gonna go ahead and power on the computer, and let's see if it turns on. So as you guys can see, it turned on, and you might be able to hear the fans, but you can see the Apple logo has illuminated on the screen again, and all the users popped up, which also means that the hard drive is fine. So we're good to go. And that's pretty much the replacement on your screen, guys. If you guys are wondering more, please go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe down below. I'm going to go ahead and show you the specs on this computer, just in case you guys are wondering. So I'm running OS X El Capitan, and it's Macbook Pro 2.2 GHz Intel Core i7, 16 gigs of RAM, Intel Iris Pro, and we've got our serial number as well. So yeah, guys, that's the overall on the MacBook Pro screen repair. If you guys like more about this, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe down below for future videos. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.